What is up? It's your boy Tanner here with the news, the chill news. Now, today's top story, it's dope to share hope. We've checked in with our field reporters to find out what's good in their hood. First up is our brand new reporter, Chad. Chad, we go live to you now. Wild! Okay, looks like our boy Chad's having some technical difficulties. You know what? That's chill, bro. We'll just throw it over to our guy Kyle. Kyle, can you hear me?
Hey, thanks for throwing it to me, Tanner, with an R. This is your boy Kyle with 2 C's out here at my home abode, just chilling, just kicking it, and I'm here to spread some hope. Because as we all know, it's dope to spread hope, so I made some paper airplanes, and I'm just gonna throw them at a safe distance at anyone out there. Hopefully it doesn't hit anyone too hard. All right, that was pretty dope. Back to you in the studio, Tanner.
Whoa, sick, that's awesome. Thank you, Kyle. And now we want to introduce you to another new reporter, Monica. Monbon, what's up?
Hey Tanner, it's me, Monica, and we have been down at a local Knoxville cul-de-sac all day, watching a group of kids use a giant bucket of chalk and their imaginations to spread hope with the neighborhood. It's been amazing. They have worked tirelessly all day long so that walkers and riders and maybe even an airplane could share their message of hope. It's been amazing. You totally should come and see it. Back to you, Tanner.
All right, thanks, Monica. Back to you. Chad? Chad, come in, Chad. Hey fam, we regret to inform you the least chill news is we could not get in touch with Chad, but maybe next time. But you know what? That's not gonna stop us from sharing hope, because again, it's dope to share hope. So tell us what's good in your hood. And yeah, I try to rhyme every single opportunity that presents itself. And now, welcome to the Cokesbury Student Ministry Show.
We're back with another game for you this week. This week's game is called Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Cup. You only need a few supplies. You need a minimum of 3 people, and you need a cup. It's that simple. Let me just show you how it works.
Bring it on, Miss
I'm coming for you, Callie Ray. All right, the caller is going to call some things. They are going to follow the instructions, and watch what happens. All right, guys. Head, shoulders, knees, ears, eyes, cup. Callie Ray was the winner in that game. You can play this a lot of different ways. You can play when next person plays the winner. You can hide the cup and make them run after it. The possibilities are endless, but however you play, just have fun.
Do you need sports right now? Well, welcome to our new segment, Trick Shots. Haters are gonna say it's a fake.
What's up, Cokesbury students? Thank you for coming back to your favorite weekly segment, the joke and the meme of the week. Now it's kind of the meme in real life, but I'll let Joshua explain that more in a second. But to get us started with the joke of the week, why don't birds follow directions?
Why?
Because they like to wing it.
I'm not even fake laughing now. That's real laughing. This is what's happening with the quarantine here. I'm laughing at anything. It's, oh, man.
Okay, well, you don't have to be so personal about it. All right. Well, I'll toss it over to you.
All love, man. All love. Love you. All right, so as Reed said, guys, we're doing something a little different here. We're doing a meme in real life these next couple weeks. We're going to see how long this goes. So, up here, we pull up this picture. Right now, during this quarantine, this is the vacation that you wish you could have. You know, the wish you could afford, being out on the beach, being out in the sun, everything like that. Now, my good friend Chad, spelled with a C, he sent me a great picture of his vacation right now. Pull up that picture, please. What a man. What a man. Chad is just an incredible bro.
He's living the high life.
He is living the high life. I can't even afford a kiddie pool, so that's a struggle.
As you come back next week, we'll hopefully have more memes in real life for you. Hopefully it'll be a recurring segment if we can keep coming up with them. But yeah, thank you for tuning in for the joke and the meme of the week. And we'll see you next week.
What is up, guys? We are back. Still talking about control. We're in week 2 of our series, and I brought these guys back, and it's kind of driving me crazy. Okay, so just to get, so we're on the right track. Isn't that much more pleasing? It's just, see, for me, this just gives the appearance that like everything is fine, like it's in order, like I know what I'm doing. That's certainly what it looks like. It's just like, oh well, look at this guy's remotes. They're all in a straight line. I can even like maybe just point them toward you a little bit. There we go. So see, now it feels like bang, bang, bang. We're together. See, that's kind of what control looks like for me. It's just like I just find these little things that really distract me from everything else that's going on to just say, it looks certainly like I know what's going on. And then that kind of like part of the daily struggle is just keeping up appearances or trying to make it look like we know what we're doing, or that we look competent, or if we, appear to be doing things the right way or saying the right things or doing the right TikTok dances, you know what I mean? It looks like we can be accepted, that we're cool, that we got it all together, we got it figured out. And for me, just kind of a little bit of order and a little bit of structure at least gives the appearance that like, hey, he's calm, he knows what he's doing. But like these are things that we always worry about. Like Instagram, for example. I mean, you're gonna post a picture where you're smiling and confident and look happy and there's no shadows on your face and your teeth are just right. You're not gonna post the one where, maybe before the wind like just blew your hair all the way over here, or you just like opened up the front, that's not the stuff we share, because that looks like we don't know what we're doing. It looks like who would be friends with that guy or that girl that got the teeth and the hair and the shirt's all messed up? Speaking of, but these are just questions that we wrestle with all the time. But when we take control, when we obsess over the appearance of looking like we got it together, that sometimes we miss way more important things. Today we're going to be looking at the story of Esther, and Esther is a beautiful story in the Bible. And it's a very long story, and it takes up the whole book. So we're just going to pull some pieces out of it. But just the super quick, oversimplified version of the story of Esther was Esther grew up a Jew and a woman and an orphan. That is probably the lowest of the low of the social classes at the time. So she had no family, no natural family. She was adopted by her cousin named Mordecai. She was a Jew, which living in Persia, bottom of the rung there. And she was a woman. Women just had no rights at the time. They couldn't, really do anything without a man, couldn't own anything, certainly couldn't vote, which I don't think they had democracy back in Persia, but we'll look at that up. Jackson, get on that. So you got this woman named Esther that's really got nothing going for her, and she eventually becomes queen. She's adopted by her cousin Mordecai, and they go up and she gets to know King Xerxes, and she literally wins a beauty contest. And then later she finds out through Mordecai that there's this other guy that's plotting the death of all the Jewish people. Well, she and Mordecai are both Jews, which means her people are about to die. Now she gets to the point where she's just like, man, I haven't been in front of King Xerxes in like 30 days. Am I good enough to be seen by the king now? Like, she gets to have all these issues of self-doubt, and so she goes to the king, which at the time, if you approach the king uninvited, that's what that meant. So she bravely goes. Anyway, long story short, she has a conversation with Xerxes, with the king, reveals the plan, saves thousands of people's lives because she was courageous, because she trusted God, because she maybe even believed in herself, because she quit trying to be in control of things that didn't really matter. And see, that's how I want to talk about the story of Esther right now, is that this is this brave, courageous woman that trusted God enough to not worry about little things that were insignificant because God had a mission for her. See, she came from nothing, really. And maybe that's a part of the story that maybe you relate to right now, is that you feel like you don't belong, or you feel like you have no community, or whatever that looks like for you. I don't really know, but maybe that's the part that you're really resonating with right now. And see, that's where Esther came from, and she trusted God, that she was comfortable with who God had made her to be, and she lived in the freedom that, God, I'm just gonna trust you, and even though maybe I haven't been seen by the king for a while, I'm not gonna worry about that. Maybe for a moment, but we're just gonna keep going because, God, I think you've given me a mission that's bigger than just what my appearance may look like. So when we read in Esther chapter 4, and I encourage you, please check out the whole book. It's fantastic. But we've pulled a couple passages. You can read in chapter 4, verses 4 through 11. You can almost hear the question in her mind, like, will I be good enough for the king to accept me? You can hear some doubt, that it had been 30 days since I was called to the king. How often do we do that, where we start to answer our own questions with even more self-doubt or negative self-talk, that God eventually answers her question and puts all that to rest. And if you keep reading in Esther chapter 5, verses 1 through 5, we see in the story that not only is Esther good enough for King Xerxes, but she was good enough for God to use to save his chosen people, the Jewish people. Esther was created for this. Esther was created with this mission in mind. Esther was created to do this beautiful, powerful thing that God had trusted her with. And I imagine if she had been caught up in all this doubt and all these appearances and all this controlling of her own life, then maybe she misses the bigger picture. Maybe she misses the mission that God had put in her life. I think the other big takeaway from this story is that maybe wherever you are right now, in this moment, God can use you. That you have value, that you matter, that you have a mission. And see, here's the opposite of control, is that the opposite of control is freedom. And I think that's what God calls us to do, is not to live in control and not to be worried about the tedious things and what it looks like, but God calls us to live in freedom. And to do that, we have to trust. And to do that, we have to let go. I hope we are people that choose freedom, that let go and say, God, I'm valuable to you right here, right now. God's got a mission for your life. We just got to let go, trust him, and look at the awesome things that he can do through us.
So many reasons, too many to count, to say that I love you, to worship you now. Your love is perfect, is kind, and I'm yours forever, forever you're mine. Jesus, the anthem of my heart, Jesus, the anchor of my soul, and I'm overwhelmed by all you are. Oh, how I love you. You're faithful to the end. God, you are always good. Where do I begin? There's so many reasons to love you. Your promise never breaks. Your beauty never fades. What else can I say? There's so many reasons to love you. You're faithful to the end. God, you are always good. Where do I begin? There's so many reasons to love you. Your promise never breaks. Your beauty never fades. What else can I say? There's so many reasons to love you. Oh, there's so many reasons to love you. Oh, Jesus, the anthem of my heart, Jesus, the anchor of my soul. I'm overwhelmed by all you are. Oh, how I love you. Jesus, the anthem of my heart, Jesus, the anchor of my soul. I'm overwhelmed by all you are. Oh, how I love you. Oh.
Hey, we want to thank you for sticking around. Special thanks to Josh Cottrell for singing for us this week. If we look back at the story, I think Esther's story reminds us of a lot of familiar questions that maybe we just begin to ask ourselves. Does my life matter? Like, am I significant? And unfortunately, I think a lot of us just kind of cruise through life without the courage to really face those tough questions. We just pretend they don't exist. That's not necessarily like having control. That's just like taking it and taking the batteries out, smashing it, and just tossing it in the river. Just being like, we don't even need that. We'll just pretend we don't exist. But that's not how God calls us to live. I think God wants us to live in freedom and to trust Him and to have the courage to lean into God in these difficult times. So when you face those, let's not run from them. Let's face them head on, live in freedom, and trust that God says you are valuable for this time, in this place, in this world. Believe in that and be well.